Hey, this is Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Aerialist podcast. Before we get started today, check the show notes. I'm so excited to announce that the 3-part video series called Aerial Rehab is coming out mid-summer. It'll go straight to inboxes. Just sign up at the link and you'll get it for free. It is geared towards any aerialist coming back to their practice from injury, surgery, pregnancy, or just a big long break. It is a progressive ground to air concept, and I've been working on it for a little while now. So I'm excited for you guys to see what I've got for you. All right, today I have Laurel Sue, and we start out our conversation with a big old venting session, or you could call it ranting session, about the recent decision by the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. We talk about our big feelings. We talk about our small feelings. We talk about all of our feelings. And for all you listeners out there, if you're feeling this way, you are not alone. It is a big deal here in America because reproductive rights are healthcare, is healthcare. I cannot tell you the number of people I've spoken to and who have been on this podcast who would have died if it was not for, those life-saving procedures, either because they had leftover tissue in their uterus, because they had a cluster of non-viable cells in their fallopian tube, because a host of reasons. And molar pregnancy with Helen Zhu. So many stories. And not to say that you have to have a situation like that. You don't. It's privacy. You should have your right to privacy. And we go into it because we're mad as hell. And then we get into Laurel's story, which is also an incredible journey. She suffered from hyperemesis in her pregnancy. She decided to do a birth center and hypnobirthing for her labor. And she struggled with engorgement and mastitis postpartum. She talks about getting back in the air and her process. It's really, really a great story. And she's a great storyteller. So here's my interview with Laurel. So you moved. Wait, you have a young child?
I have now a 10-month-old. I'm 10 months postpartum.
10 months postpartum. You just moved. Did you move to a different city or did you just move apartments or homes? It's not that
drastic. We moved from San Francisco to Oakland, so just across the bridge.
Across the bridge. Are you British?
Yes, I am. I was born in China and I was raised in the UK, but then I came here when I was around in my teenage years. And then went to university in the States.
Okay. Where'd you go to school?
I went to New York University.
Wow. So are you, what nationality are you?
I am Chinese.
Oh my God.
There's not many of us in the area.
No, it's like me and you and a couple other people. I mean, that's not true. That's not true. Actually, I was just having this conversation with a woman who visited LA from Hawaii. She's Japanese.
Yeah.
And she wanted to take class at the Loft because...
Of course, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? So I taught her, and she also just talked about representation in our industry.
Yeah, and honestly, some of the best aerial trainers that have been people of color, like Christine Lee. I think everyone knows her. She used to teach Active Flex at Circus Center, and I used to take classes with her.
Nice.
I taught my partner flying trapeze, which was fun. And Angela Chu, I think she's part of the Aerial Moms group. She was actually my kind of like source of truth when I was going through pregnancy. And she was one of the folks that taught me choreography on silks.
Ah, nice. Can you pronounce your name for me? Because I'm going to butcher it. Laurel?
Laurel.
Like the
Laurel.
tree.
Or like the
tree
of the Christ, however you want to.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. This is amazing. No, I like to go fast and loose on these podcasts, and it always turns out better if I'm not prepared. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Chinese American. Are you Chinese American if you weren't born here? I'm American. Yeah. Okay. Chinese American. Is this your first kid?
First and probably last. I don't know if I do this again.
Yeah. I'm right with you. I'm right with you on that. Yeah. I don't know your age, but for me, I'm not a spring chicken. Well, in my soul and my body, I kind of feel like a spring chicken, but my female reproductive organs are not. So,
I mean, it depends on how you want to describe spring chicken, right? I'm actually in my early 30s. So,
okay.
Young for my friends. In my group of friends, I'm definitely the youngest to have children. Most of my friends, I would say, started around 36, 38, and I am 33.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
So was this a planned pregnancy?
This was a planned pregnancy. We had stopped birth control, unfortunately, around the time of COVID, and we were waiting for election results, essentially, to officially decide if we were trying. Because
I love that.
Yeah, because, with COVID, being Asian, rise of Asian hate and all of that, we were debating if we should even have children in the States. So honestly, when election results came in, that's when we tried and we got pregnant.
Well, congratulations. And your husband I'm sorry, I shouldn't assume. Your partner... Is he also Chinese?
No, he's a New Yorker.
Oh, okay. He's a white American?
Yes.
Caucasian, as they say, Caucasian.
From Long Island. Long Island.
Okay. So you have a little hoppa baby.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, they're so cute. They're so cute. I mean, I'm biased. I think the Blasian babies are slightly cuter because I have a Blasian baby.
I admit it's the cuteness, the chubbiness, the everything. It's just the best. They're the new hybrids. They're going to be immune to all sorts of diseases that we all
Yeah. Okay. So before we go into your story, I just wanted to vent a little bit. Mm-hmm. So this will come out after the news that broke today, just a couple hours ago, that our Supreme Court just took us back 50 years, maybe 100 years in women's rights.
Yep.
America, land of the free, home of the brave, unless you are anything but a white man.
Nope. I mean, Carrie, so here's the thing. So I was a lawyer before all of this.
Oh, okay. You're not any longer?
No, definitely not. Hell no. That was a 10 years ago sort of a situation.
Okay.
Not for me. And I remember studying Roe v. Wade, the constitutional law. And frankly, Roe v. Wade is extraordinarily flawed for protecting women's rights and abortions. So that's why they're overturning it, because it's not providing abortion support. It's so vague. But here's the thing is they are assuming that removing Roe v. Wade, you start with a blank state, and that states at state levels will be able to create stronger protection for women identifying rights on these topics.
Right. That's what the justices are saying.
Yep. But again, That's like, okay, so if you're on any of the coasts, California, Oregon, Washington, D.C., New York, you are essentially protected, and folks in the center part are not. And this is really going to impact, unfortunately, people of color, lower economic areas. Like it's going to be devastating. My hope is that it's going to be devastating in the next 10, 20 years, but hopefully this really spurs people to vote in their local elections, get involved more with Planned Parenthood, really understand women's rights, and this women's rights is not just about abortion. It's about talking about how traumatic postpartum is. It's talking about giving us leave. It's talking about how difficult it is to breastfeed and that it is okay to not breastfeed. And that starts from the ground up. And maybe, just maybe, 15 years from now, the Gen Z that comes up, they will implement this change that we have been striving for. And this new foundational rights and laws will finally be able to protect not just women, but women identifying and everyone across the spectrum.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with you because like, okay, I feel like, I don't know about your past, but it took me, I'm 45 now. It took me my entire life up until like this year, last year, to find my voice and really become what I want to be as a leader in my own community. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you're that. I feel like you're that, the way you talk. I love it. We need more of it because representation is really important.
Yeah.
Strong females who are of color are really important because, you know, you got to be able to look up to something and have that role model out there so that the younger generation can grow up into that quicker.
Yeah. There needs to be hope. I think if we all despair now, like there is going to be no hope if we despair. We should take this as a chance to strive. Look at what happened coming from the Black Lives Matter movement. So many great things happened because people really got that urge for change. And I think with this, mothers, parents in those conservative areas who used to be pro-life, eventually someone is going to experience what it feels like to miscarry and be forced a DNC and not be allowed it. And then they'll finally realize, oh shit, this is actually not about pro-life. This is about women's rights.
Yeah. No, it's disgusting. Like I hear usually white men politicians, and I won't leave Clarence Thomas out because he's not white, but he's just as bad, even worse, as some of the white men up there. I mean, the way they talk about like the rights of a fetus and like hilarious. And then the same week that SCOTUS does this, the whole thing about guns, like a gun has more rights than I do, than my daughter has.
Of course.
And it's disgusting.
Of course. Yeah, of course, Carrie.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, Carrie. This is my own conspiracy theory, is that
I want to hear it.
All happening because women are rising, people of color are rising. We are no longer having 6+ children. We want to succeed in our careers. We want to be this badass woman. And if that means we're not going to have children or we're limiting ourselves to 1 child or 2 children, that's fine. And these white cis men are like, oh my God, these women are no longer doing my bidding. They're no longer going to be my admins. I'm not going to be a CEO. I'm not going to be politics. Your time is over. Get with it.
Yeah, well, that's, the GOP. It's like that's, the January 6th stuff that's happening right now as we speak. It's like, I know that they're holding on, but that is a minority in this country. Mm-hmm. And you're right. Like we're pissed off now. Let's see what happens the next 15 to 20 years for the next generation, because I do not want my daughter to have less rights than I happen to have when I live during my life. And you're right. If they there's a fire lit and they got what they wanted, but I don't know if they wanted all of this.
I'm just saying, because they thought they had a nasty woman before. Now they're really going to get the nasty woman.
Oh yeah. And Amy Coney Barrett is like,
please.
Please. I know that she's just trying to placate the people that got her to where she's at. But originalist, I mean, my dude is a Black man, and he was watching a little bit of the January 6th, and he laughed. He's like, Constitution. When the Constitution was written, my ancestors were slaves. Why should I care? And I'm not saying I don't care. I'm saying that, like, lady, you had no rights. You wouldn't be in the highest court if you were really an originalist. Yeah. Shut up.
Exactly. Like, is this?
Come on.
Am I watching my own TV series?
This is terrible. Yeah. So there's a fire lit. I mean, I've always been like a like a lifelong Democrat, and I'm not even that far left, but like y'all are like, this shit is not okay.
It's
like
not even a Democrat or Republican thing anymore.
No.
It's about just like basic human rights.
Basic human rights. And out there, this is a worldwide community. If you are outside of America, not an American citizen, looking in, and it seems like some crazy shit, you're right. It feels that way living here. Like our country's like a teenage boy that needs to be slapped across the face. Like, it's terrible.
You know it's an issue when my family in China, an authoritarian dictatorship regime, is pitying us.
Wow.
Just saying. They're literally locked in Shanghai without food, and they are pitying us. That is saying something.
Are you saying because of the lockdowns and they just don't have access to the grocery stores and stuff?
Yeah, it's literally probably like $200 right now to ship groceries. So if you're privileged, you get to eat. If you're not privileged, you get like leftover potato skins.
I love that you chose potato skins.
No, that's because that's what they're actually eating. My father is feeding it to me, yeah.
Like, so not like from Applebee's, but actual skins of potatoes.
No, like when you, what's it called? Peel a potato.
And that's what you have to do.
They dry it out in the sun. So it's like potato jerky, because that's a form of carb that they can just chew on and feel less hungry. It was a technique that they developed during the Cultural Revolution. So the old generations have been teaching the young generations how to deal with essentially starvation.
Oh my God, I really thought you were talking about potato skins that I get from like the local bar.
It's not the delicious potato skins that we get here.
Oh my God.
They are pitying us.
That is some crazy shit right there. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, so podcast listeners, you've definitely found us fiery here on a Friday morning, although this is going to drop on a Monday. Oh my God. I think that you and I are like, we're what's it called? We're like sisters from another mother.
Soulmates?
Yes.
Are we flying soulmates? Are we flying birdmates?
I want to know this. So wait, okay. So tell me about your practice. Tell me about your aerial practice.
So when I was in law school, I actually started in pole, and that was because I was in China in law school, and my friend was like, "Hey, there's this place called Pussycat Dance. Let's take a break from your hypotheticals and let's go try this Pussycat Dance pole studio."
There's pole studios in China?
Oh yeah, there is. Pole is a big practice in mainland China. And
is it looked down upon?
No, it's an athletic sport, right? Chinese pole is a sport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I went and I expected this like, sexy, I don't know. This was back when I was like, it's like a stripper-esque. And then I go in, and this is when I thought CrossFit was an intense workout. And these people are like 8-packs, lifting things upside down like it's no effort. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm weak. And then I was like, what? I'm going to give this a shot. And then I moved from China to New York, and I joined Body and Pole.
Okay.
Such a fabulous studio. And it was like this community where I finally felt like, wow, people are not comparing each other. They're encouraging. I can feel like sexual or silly and not embarrassed about it. It was very nice. And then through Body and Pole is how I discovered Lyra and silks. My main apparatus is silks. And then my aerial partner and I, we like to do duo stuff on Lyra. That's obviously on hiatus and postpartum. But yeah, our hoop's name is Sasha.
Oh my God, I'm so obsessed with you.
I know my aerial partner. She used to go down for the aerial retreats down in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Okay, what's her name?
Deborah O.
No, I don't know Deborah O, but that's great.
Deb.
I love it.
Mama. I like to call her Mama.
Oh, this is great. And so now you're on the West Coast.
I'm on the West Coast now. So trained here at Aerial Artique back when it was Aerial Artique, and then got whipped into shape through Elena, the usual at a circus center that everyone goes through.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did silks just primarily for enjoyment, for the dance, for the height, for the thrill. And then we did performance on Lyra as a duo act.
Okay. And I am not sure. Is aerial your job or is it your hobby?
It's a hobby. It's a hobby.
Okay. What do you do now since you're not a lawyer?
Oh, yeah. I was a lawyer when I lived in New York, and it was just not a right fit. I couldn't. That was not my mindset. I couldn't handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed something creative. I needed not to be bogged down by the stress of alerting to my BlackBerry on the corner of my bed. The fact that I used to go to Body and Pole after a dance session, I would go into a corner and cry.
Oh, no.
That's how bad it was. Kira, who was the owner of Body and Pole, used to come consult me and be like, there, it's okay. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate my job. But,
were you in corporate law?
Yeah, I did mergers and acquisitions for a big firm in New York City.
So bringing in the bucks.
Yeah, not worth it. Money is not worth your soul.
Yeah, so you stopped doing that. You guys are now there, and you are 10 months postpartum. Okay, so tell me, is there anything what was pregnancy like for you?
Pregnancy was, I would say it this way. Pregnancy was a disaster. Like,
oh no,
HG. So I was vomiting from probably week 7 all the way until birth. I had probably 2 weeks of non-vomiting. So here's the thing with HG, they give you this drug to prevent you from
HG, is that hyperemesis?
Hyperemesis, Bavarium. And
okay.
The thing is, the medication they give you to prevent you from vomiting makes you super constipated. And, like hemorrhoids, I was like, no, must poop. In my culture, like pooping is like, you must poop. So I was like, oh no, I must poop. So I was like, fuck this, I'm just going to vomit. And it got to a point, there were a couple of other aerialists who were going through pregnancy with me, and we were all just kind of sick, where we just like, okay, so I'm going to strategically eat foods that when I'm vomiting will not be as painful. So like no noodles, no spicy foods, no like enoki mushrooms. Just call them see you later mushrooms. Take that how you will. And then my midwife. So here's the thing is I worked with a midwife, and I birthed at a birth center rather than a hospital.
Okay.
I have a great fear for hospitals and specifically male doctors.
All right.
Yeah. So knowing that if I went into labor, it'd be the first on-call doctor and it could potentially be like a male really freaked me out. And my whole thing was practicing hypnobirthing. And a big part of hypnobirthing was feeling safe and feeling empowered. And for me, that was like, okay, so I knew I needed to do this the way I could, which was at a birth center with a midwife, with the doula, with people that I felt safe with.
I love it.
Yeah. And I trained until I was about 38 weeks pregnant. It was mainly on silks. I did Lyra probably until I was 20 weeks pregnant, but I had to stop because how I mount into the Lyra is, pull over, and it's almost such a muscle memory. I would get onto the hoop. I would start doing the pullover and go, wait, I can't pull over because there's something there and I don't want to harm the baby. So then I would just be suspended in this awkward thing of like, oh, wait, can't mount the Lyra this way. Come back down. That was an accident. I'm just going to go under the bar this time. But then under the bar, you suddenly have this newfound breasts that have grown out of nowhere. I went from a 32 like B cup. I became a 36 F. Carrie, I didn't know F was a thing. I had no idea. Like, what happened to
during pregnancy? And how about now?
I've stopped breastfeeding, so they're slowly decreasing. I'm now a 34 double D. You remember on the Aerial Mamas chat, I actually asked the group, I was like, hey guys, I have these big breasts. What do big breast people wear for Aerial? I don't know.
Okay, I remember seeing that. I didn't know the name of the person. So wait, your body, Your body before pregnancy is like what?
Like parallel, no curves, pretty flat. I had an ass, so I was proud of that.
Oh my God, we're the same person.
Yeah, and then
Laurel, are you like, did my mom have another kid that I didn't know about? What is happening?
Yeah, and then it's like suddenly I had hips, and then
I don't understand that. I don't understand this at all. So your body was like petite, flat, and then you had. I don't understand how that even happens. Did your mom have that happen?
Yes. My mother, but naturally my mother was very curvy, and then she just became even curvier after pregnancy.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either. But pregnancy was, aside from the nausea, my ribs got bruised because my abdominals just would not move. So my son would just kick the top of my rib cage, and the top couple bits of my rib cage got bruised as a result, which is all better now. But I mean, I didn't have any complications aside from this. So there's really nothing bad to complain about. It was just
like
incredible nausea. But
right.
I was suddenly able to spin without needing to prep. I used to have to okay, I need to train for spinning. I used to have to be like, okay, where's my gallon of ginger? Suddenly I could spin and it felt good.
Huh.
It was
while you're pregnant?
While I was pregnant.
That's so weird.
So yeah, so I'd be like in my silks, and I would just be in like a single knee hang, and you twirl your silks and you just kind of go around. And it used to make me so sick. And suddenly it did not. I was very confused.
And that stuck. It's the same now?
It's about the same now.
Wow, that's great. Granted,
I have not tried on like real spinning apparatuses like a dance trapeze. Who knows? That might destroy me.
Okay. So you were training aerial until 38 weeks. How did you prep yourself for the hypnobirthing? What was that process?
So the hypnobirthing, I already had a meditative practice. And I think the one thing is the name hypnobirthing, people think it's very woo-woo, like, oh, you're going into hypnosis. I don't believe in that. It's really not about hypnosis. It's about knowing that your body can do this, that women have done this for thousands of years without men intervening. And men intervening was something that happened recently, right? So it's understanding that your body will change, and rather than fight it, you breathe into it. So a great example is when it's even the vernacular, rather than calling it a contraction, you call it a surge. So then when you feel the surge happening, rather than like clench and go, oh my God, it's coming. Oh, it's painful. You just breathe into it. You just kind of inhale and you exhale. And they have these breathing techniques of, okay, early labor, you want to take deep breaths. When you go into transition and later in labor, there are these like quick breaths that you take to kind of handle the surges that are coming in faster beats. And then a big part of hypnobirthing is also knowing where your body pain is happening. I think a lot of people, when they go through labor, they're like, oh my God, just everything hurts. But if you really recognize, okay, is my labor in the front of my hips? Is it in the back of my hips? Is it in my back? Just knowing where that is, then they train your partner to kind of do this counter pressure point. So as you're going through your surges, you have someone counter pressuring this in you. Then here's the other thing, ensuring that you are in control of what position you are in. I birthed laying on my side. Yeah. A friend of mine, another aerialist, she birthed essentially in a pull-up position, which is natural because she does straps. So I was like, touche. But it's like,
because that's what she felt like doing when the contraction was there.
Yeah, because they had these like these bars for her because bars are supposed for you to bear down, but she pulled up.
So she pulled up and the baby crowned and came out. Yes, this is amazing.
Yes. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. That's you. Whatever works.
I need to get her name from you because I want her on the podcast. And it will be named.
She's probably listening to this podcast and going, oh, she's about to give her my name, isn't she?
We'll do it offline, but yeah.
Yeah, she's one of the strongest aerialists that I know. This woman's badass. But yeah, it's all about knowing what position that you feel comfortable in and really doing what you need to do to get in that vibe. So you create like a hypno baby playlist. So music that you feel relaxed and good. And then you train yourself months ahead of time where when you're feeling relaxed, winding down for the day, reading a book, you listen to this playlist that's calming so that it almost treats it as a trigger that when you hear these repetitive songs, they make you feel good about yourself and they make you feel relaxed. And then you have an active baby jive for when you get into active labor. And you listen to this playlist also months ahead of time when you're working out, when you're drinking, when you're getting hyped up, all those sort of things. So like as an example, on my baby hypno jive, it was a lot of soothing music from soundtracks like How to Train Your Dragon or Orchestra Symphony or theme to Star Trek. I'm a big nerd, so that's why these are the things that came up.
Oh my God, I'm a big nerd too.
Hey, Carrie. So yes.
Wait, are you a Star Wars nerd?
Oh, Carrie, my entire house right now is themed Star Wars.
Don't lie to me.
Like my kitchen, I have named it through Google Home called the Cantina. Our reading room is Alderaan. My
Stop
living
it.
room is
Stop it.
And our primary bedroom is the Dagobah system.
Okay, listen. I thought I was a nerd. You totally trump me. Sorry, I hate using that word. You totally are more nerdy than me. So are you caught up on Obi-Wan?
I have not started that series yet because someone told me that there is harming of children in it. So I need to prepare myself mentally to watch. I've been dying to watch it.
Well, I mean, yes, it's basically, sorry, spoiler alert for my podcast listeners. Basically, they go back to when Anakin attacked the Padawans.
Yep, I heard.
Yeah.
It's like that movie, that show, and Stranger Things. Both of them are like, I want to watch, but I think I need to be in a better headspace.
Yeah, and they do the trigger warnings too, because I just finished first part of 4. And I have to say, maybe you're doing it better because now I have to wait. I have to wait a whole week longer. And it's not good. It's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
So, oh my God, I literally, like, do you know Natasha Wang?
Name sounds familiar.
She's a pole artist. She's a pole, she's like big in the pole community. When I first met her, this is also how I felt.
Oh, yes. She recently competed. She competed in the pole championships around with Marlo Fiskin.
I don't know who that other person is, but
Pole cricket.
Yep, that's her.
Yeah.
That's her. When I first really spent time with her, we were actually on a gig together, and I felt this way. I was like, "How have I only met you now? This is crazy." Oh my God! And then also, the Harry Potter movies are now on HBO Max.
Yep.
They're not as good as you would want them to be, but they're pretty good for if you're just sitting around the house trying to take care of your baby. Yeah, there's actually a good amount of stuff to watch right now. Disney Plus just had Doctor Strange come out, like my weekend is booked basically.
And that's the thing is with hypnobirthing, you just want things that make you feel calm. And for my active baby jives, I had like the Rocky Horror soundtrack going on.
Oh my God, this is amazing. You're acting like a Gen Xer, Gen Xer, but you're not. You're a millennial. Millennial?
No,
Millennium.
I just listen to a lot of older music. But yeah.
Well, okay. So it's a mindfulness practice, obviously. And what was your experience during the birth?
Okay, Carrie, here's the thing, and nobody's going to believe me. I had a really good birthing experience. It was painless.
That's what I hear, though. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
from my friends who are doing this successfully.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say it's a success thing because I think any person that births it's a success, but it was just pain-free, and quite frankly, I enjoyed it. And if it weren't for postpartum and the vomiting of pregnancy, I'd say, yeah, I would definitely go through labor again. Because if I had to describe labor as any way, it felt like taking a giant dump, but like a giant dump where you've been hydrated and you've been like constipated for like a week, and it comes out and it feels glorious.
Oh my God, I've never heard this analogy. My friend, she didn't do hypnobirthing necessarily, but she did at-home birth. And she used the word, oh God, see, now that I'm a mom, I just forget things. Like, I just forget things. It was just like the height of excitement. That's the way she characterized her home birth. And it wasn't painful either. She also did like, you know, they have those contraptions where it's a balloon and you can stretch the parent, instead of doing just the massage, like actually stretching it and birthing a balloon.
That's, yeah, I did that. I had an...
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so your pelvic floor probably is way healthier than mine.
I was
for doing all that work.
I was very, very lucky because I had a ton of friends before me who had gone through birthing centers and who had gone through hypnobirthing and everything. And I knew it was not really an American thing, so I didn't really believe my friends in the EU, because abroad in Asia, in the EU, you don't normally go to hospitals. You're typically working with a midwife. You only go to a hospital if there's complications. So in the Americas, it's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
So I didn't really believe them. And then I had a friend in the States who comes from a family of doctors, and she chose to go to a birth center and do hypnobirthing. So then I was like, okay, so this person who is medically trained, is not woo-woo in any way, is doing this. Maybe I should look into it. And she described her labor as great. It wasn't painful. It was like pooping. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, haha. But in my back of my mind, I was like, you're lying. But it's true. It really was like this. And it was because in labor, I surrendered to my body. I felt it happening. My water broke at midnight. And then I told my partner, I was, I think my water broke. I was like, okay, time for us to sleep. So then I went to sleep. And then I woke up and I felt the surges happening. I was like, okay, so I think now this is happening. And then there's this app that they kind of have you, that you have download. It's called the Frida. It's called like the Frida something app. It's a breathing thing where it's this button. When your surge starts, you press it and it walks you through the breathing technique that you have been trained. You can adjust it like, okay, like I'm asthmatic, so I can't take these like 8-second long inhale breaths that normal people can. So you can adjust the time, and then you press the button when the surge stops. And then they time it for you so that you can know, okay, you're 20 minutes of contraction. And then as you get closer, then they'll actually prompt and say, okay, time to call your midwife or your, there's this whole, it's hilarious. And they have all these songs and music, and you can play your own playlist. It's a really solid app. So I started doing that. And then my husband woke up around 10. He found me on the couch because I didn't want to wake him. And I was on my side, just kind of listening to my playlist, zoning out. And I was 20 minutes between each surge. And then within an hour, I went down to 4 minutes of surge. Shit went by fast. And I was so in the zone, I could only think, I need everyone here now, and we need to get to the birth center right now. I could not explain it. My body was screaming, we need to get to the birth center. Something is happening. So my partner literally got everyone here immediately. And then we called a midwife. And this is, again, a couple of hours. And the midwife is like, oh, yeah, we can get you in, but you might be here for like a couple of days because this is early labor, and first-time moms traditionally, statistically, last like 48 to 72 hours. In total, my birth lasted 15 hours. And I should mention, I don't have wide hips. I have very narrow hips. So for those who are saying I have narrow hips, is never going to happen. It will happen. I used to be a 00 pant size, 24 size pant size. So this happened. And I could not sit. Sitting was like my body screamed, do not let me sit. Like sitting on a birth ball, sitting up, not okay. So my partner laid down the trunk, put a bunch of cushions, and I laid in the back of the trunk as we drove to the birth center. And as we drive to the birth center, and I didn't know it then, but now I know, I was going through transition. So I felt the sudden need to push and to poop. And I was like, I need to poo. I need to poo. And one of my good friends, she's part of my birth team, she's telling the doula in the front seat, Laurel needs to poo. Laurel needs to poo. The doula knew instantly what was happening. She was like, do not push. Do not push. And if anything, this was the most difficult part of my labor.
To not push.
Not push. It felt like I was in the middle of a music festival, performing, hovering on top of everyone. And suddenly I feel like I just ate a boatload of cheese. And I feel like I'm gophering a poop in my leotard above everyone. And I'm like, okay, do not poop. Do not poop. That's literally what it felt like.
I'm so obsessed with you.
But you all know that feeling when you are...
No, I know.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. And this is the first time I was like, oh shit, I actually cannot shit.
So how long did you have to hold it?
It felt like forever. In reality, it was 14 minutes. We get to the birth
Okay, that's a long time though. Like 15 minutes is a long time.
So we get to the birth center. The midwife's like, oh, you are far along. She lays me down the bed, checks me. I am 9 centimeters dilated.
Oh my God.
Bananas. Originally I wanted a water birth. So they had the tub and she's like, okay, we're going to fill the tub. And my midwife was not prepared for me being so far along. So originally she was supposed to have 2 other assisting midwives. So she calls them. They're like an hour and a half away. She's like, can you guys get here ASAP? Fortunately, my doula was also a medical assistant. So she was there to kind of like help make sure I used the restroom, that I was comfortable. I was laying on my side. And then within 20 minutes, I was like, I need to poo. Back to the I need to poo. They check me. I'm 10 centimeters dilated. I'm like, is the tub ready? And it's like maybe 1 inch. Because it's take forever. And granted, when you are doing the tub thing, it's if you were feeling a lot of back pain and it releases that pressure from your back. That's why a lot of people go into the water when they're in early labor. But obviously, I missed all that early labor because I was just zoning into my hypnobirthing state. So we're like, okay, fuck this. I guess no water birth. And there was actually a hammock in my birth center. And I was like, maybe I want to be in the hammock. No, I didn't want to be upright. I just needed to be on my side. So on my side it was. I pushed for 3 hours. And it was because I was listening to my passive baby list. Finally, my midwife was like, okay, let's up it a notch. Let's put on your active baby jobs. Like hypnobirthing is great for the passive stuff. Let's put on some active stuff. We put on the Rocky Horror, and I go to the restroom, and instantaneously, boom, he starts to crown, and they're like, get her back on the bed, because I was peeing on the toilet. Doula essentially power lifts me to the bed. They prepare the olive oil to ensure I don't tear. They put this like hot compress to help prevent the tearing. And he comes out, and it felt like the best poo of my life. And then the placenta came out, which then that was the best poo of my life. It was almost orgasmic how that felt. And then I was exhausted. Like I had just run a marathon and then conditioned for 8 hours straight. And I was like, oh, finally, I'm done. Time to relax.
Oh my God. Do you tell all your stories like this?
Yes, I'm a very exaggeratory sort of person. I'm a Leo star sign, so it is expected of me.
You know what? You said the word, my friend used the word orgasmic as well. That's the word she used. Yeah. It's like you're at the height of something and like, yeah, you're at the head. You're at the head of something.
Yep.
It's orgasmic. That's not how my birth was, but I'm really happy for you guys because that's an amazing experience. And then did you know the sex of your baby before?
No, we wanted to be surprised because you know how people are so opinionated over gender identity. And I did not want to start that on my child before they were even born. I didn't want to do any of, that sort of
the pink, the blue.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was so lit up this morning scrolling Twitter about Roe v. Wade. And I knew I had you at 9 a.m. And I was like, politics is just, I was just like, maybe I won't even talk about this because I don't know this person. And I don't know. And then you end up being you.
I mean, I would say the aerial community as a whole tends to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Tends to be really open-minded and not on the side of stepping on women's necks generally.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that most aerialists cannot do performing arts as a full-time gig, they feel like they need to find other roles to supplement, to have a basic lifestyle, is proof that people do not care about performing arts. But when pandemic hits, when they're down on the ground, who do they come to?
Yep. Yes. So that is an amazing experience to share. And I hope that any women out there who are listening, if you are considering this and really want to do it, but you've got some fear around it, I feel like Laurel just gave you some... a really good story.
You don't need to take classes or pay money for hypnobirthing. We did, but honestly, you can find free resources about it on YouTube. If you have a strong meditative practice, even more so, and just kind of go for it.
Yeah, I love this. And you say that you are not necessarily planning to have more children, although who knows? Is any particular reason?
Breastfeeding was horrible. Oh my God.
Okay. So tell us about that.
So I'm going to start by saying, listen to your physical therapist. Do not start training early at all. I posted in the Aerial Parents group that, hey, when did everyone start training again? And everyone was like, do not train until you get the green light for your physical therapist. Some people were like, I didn't train for like a year. I didn't train for 6 months. I went back into the air at 6 weeks.
Okay.
Because I didn't have complications in labor. And I was like, well, I feel okay. Like I should be able to get back into the air. And frankly, I had seen some other aerialist moms who were back in the air at 6 weeks. And in my mind, I was like, okay, I can do this. I took a private training session with one of my trainers. And my first climb back in the air, I felt like my organs were going to fall out of my butthole.
Are you having a prolapse?
No, it was, my pelvic floor was just still so low. My abdominals were not 100%. So I had like a 1.5 finger separation diastasis. I didn't know it at a time. So everything just did not feel in place. The funny thing is certain things like doing a footlock or even doing a crossback straddle felt totally fine, muscle memory. It was climbing. And I think it was because when you're climbing, right, you, depending on how you're, like a basic French climb, you wrap your foot, you step on top. When you step on top, I think maybe that's when it engages your hip flexor and your pelvic floor, which was strained for me because I birthed laying on my side. So my left foot climb felt extraordinarily heavy. And my physical therapist said, okay, so when your pelvic floor is this low and you're putting extra strain on something that's already strained, your body literally goes into the, oh my God, panic, everything's going to be destroyed mode. So then I reassessed. I was like, okay, I will actually listen to everyone who told me don't do this at 6 weeks. Did physical therapy, did basic core compressions. And when I mean basic.
Wait, did you end up injuring yourself, or did you just get like, oh shit, this doesn't feel good?
Debatable.
Okay, debatable. All right.
Debatable. Honestly, uncertain.
Okay.
The aerial group that we're in Facebook, someone gave me this link to another aerial trainer that specialized in like core compressions. So such basic things where you're like lying on the back, hollow body, knees in tabletop, and just breathing into like pushing it against your knees. Something that when you're doing normal aerial training, you're like, why am I doing this? I need to do like leg lifts in like a pike position. So that was one of those really humbling moments where I realized, okay, I need to stand from ground zero and relearn how to engage my abdominals, my transverse abdominals, and pelvic floor. Did the therapy, came back to aerial at 4 months postpartum, and started just doing very basic aerial conditioning at Circus Center with this fabulous trainer named Miriam, because she herself had gone through like a C-section and everything. And she kind of guided me through ways to work on like butterfly V-ups and all of that. And I went from not being able to lift my knees in normal hang to suddenly I was back doing inversions, because it's a progress, right? And if anything, I feel stronger now because I wasn't allowed to cheat with jumping or anything. I literally had this like new way to train, this flat blank slate where I didn't have bad techniques or cheating or anything along those lines. Had to build my core from ground zero, but do it correctly, because if it didn't, I literally would feel it in my pelvic floor. So now it's like, oh, wow, it's much easier for me to do my straight leg inversions than it was before. Weird.
This is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it takes time. And that's the thing is you have to be patient. You have to work with your trainer. You have to listen to your physical therapist, listen to other aerialists who have gone through it. So,
yeah, it's really easy to really want to start really early. Yeah. I mean, I think all of us feel that. Yeah. I didn't start too early, but I tell the story all the time. Like my pelvic floor and my TA were not participating.
Oh no.
In the movement. And so I had to complete, about a year postpartum, I completely regressed so that I could do all that work that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm on a better path. But yeah, I went in gung ho and things weren't participating. So my hip flexors were doing everything.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not going to be, and you can tell in the movement, you can tell when an inversion doesn't roll up correctly. Okay, Bean, I'm sorry. She usually gives me about 56 minutes. Okay, hold on. Mama's almost done, my love.
2.5. She has big feelings now.
I know. It's so good. And you're a first-time mom too. So, okay, sorry. Go back to the breastfeeding, by the way.
Oh, God.
Because you didn't go into that. I want to know why.
Okay.
Did the latching, was it just not natural? The baby didn't want to latch?
So a number of things. I'm one of those people that has total control over my own body. And I've always valued that, as you can tell from kind of how I did my training and everything. So I had thought ahead of time I would not be able to breastfeed because my mother was not able to successfully breastfeed. And then on top of that, one of my nipples goes in, one of my nipples is flat. And then on top of that, one of my breasts, I have a mass. It's not cancerous or anything. It's just I am BRCA positive. So it runs in my mother's side of the family because she had breast cancer and is in remission now. So I was just like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to breastfeed, but I kind of want to try it to see if I can. Nobody told me that you can't just stop breastfeeding. You have to wean. It was not something I was ever prepared for. I was unable to get my son to latch because of the flat and inverted nipples. So I decided to exclusively pump. You can see where things are going awry.
Yeah.
Day 3, And because I wasn't producing milk by day 3, I was like, I'm going to take moringa, shatavari, goat's root, fenugreek. I took all of it. I inhaled it. And because I was doing this Chinese cultural thing of confinement, where you're just doing stews and all these things that give you iron and protein and milk producing things. And it was around 10 p.m. at night. My pump ran out of battery. So I stopped pumping at like 6 minutes. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm not producing in milk anyway, whatever. I go to sleep. I turn onto one side and suddenly I feel this pain. It's like a brick. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I'll go to the other side. Suddenly my left side feels like a brick. And then I'm on my back and these boobs just get harder and harder. And it's this pain I've never felt. And I just kind of start whimpering. And my partner wakes up and says, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm in so much pain and I don't know what's happening. Fortunately, we had a postpartum doula who was handling night shifts. She came in and she was like, you need to get into a hot shower right now. You're engorged. You're at risk of mastitis. I had mastitis 5 times in 6 months. I was a big overproducer. I produced probably 70 to 100 ounces of milk a day.
Wow.
And that was after I had cut down to 4 pumps a day. So much milk. I had so much milk that when I weaned by 6 months, my child had enough milk for a year. I had a 3x6 cubic foot chest freezer along with my own freezer of milk.
Oh my God.
So with overproduction, and it's like you hear about underproduction. No one talks about overproduction. I had lost the sense of bodily autonomy. All sense of training was out the window because, hey, newsflash, sports bras clogged my milk ducts. I remember at 4 months postpartum, my aerial partner, she is one of the instructors at San Francisco Pole and Dance. So I was like, yay, she's an instructor. I'm going to go support her. I'm going to go take a Laurel class with her. Put on a sports bra, and it was like a size F sports bra fitted to me. Great. And it felt comfortable. I came out of that 1 hour and a half training session with bricks on my torso. And it had already been my second time with mastitis. So I had my doctor on call. We didn't even need to go in to do an ultrasound. I was like, well, Dr. Char, time to call Alto and get the sulfaxin antibiotics sent to my house again. I popped antibiotics like it was Skittles because that's how crazy it was. And here's the thing they don't tell you. Just because you're taking antibiotics doesn't mean the mastitis goes away. It just allows your milk ducts to not be inflamed. So you still have to massage the duct out. And it is so painful. I will take ankle hangs. I'll take neck hangs. Hell, I will take ankle hangs on a trapeze. Because let me tell you, I think those hurt way more than anything on silks, rope, or lyra.
Oh, no. I won't even do it.
Yeah, I used to have like the socks with the ankle protections and then still cry to my trainer, Elena, and be like, it hurts. And then she'll go, well, in Russia, when I did this, we did it barefooted. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was bad. So that inability to control my breast milk, my body, everything gave me a clogged duct. Sleeping on my side gave me a duct. If I knocked my elbow into my breast, I got a clogged duct. If my dog jumped on me, I got a clogged duct. If my baby accidentally punched me in the chest, because that's what they do, I got a clogged duct. My partner, my lactation consultant, would come almost every week where she would do this lymphatic massage to massage the inflammation out, and she would spend 45 minutes. And a lactation consultant is expensive. So she trained my partner on how to massage it out. So every single day, at the beginning and end of the day, we literally hot shower, pump, ice the breasts afterwards. And then he would spend 45 minutes massaging and essentially milking any clogged ducts out. Because I had them every time. So this loss of body control, loss of time, being attached to a robot, it destroyed.
No, and you didn't even get like the feeling of your baby,
exactly,
nursing, which is the
bonus is like food equals love. It's always the joke that turns people up. Oh, you need to eat all the food or you die. If I don't give you food, then I don't love you. So to me, it was not providing breast milk meant I didn't love my son. So I was like, okay, fine. I will just do this because I love my son. And to detach, I had to go through so much therapy. I could not even explain.
Oh my God. The Chinese culture, there are some positives, but mainly it just puts us all in therapy.
Yes. If you watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, that movie is so triggering for me. Oh my God, it was so good though.
Oh my God, that movie. I had no idea what it was about. I went and laughing my ass off to crying hysterically.
Yes. Oh my God. And I went to go see it because I was having a day and I asked my partner to give me 3 hours to go see a movie because I just needed alone time. And I felt that week I felt like a failure.
Yep.
In every way.
Yep.
And so I decided, the Michelle Yeoh movie's gotten a lot of great reviews. Everybody's talking about it. Let me go see that movie. I didn't even know if it was about an Asian family. I just knew she was in it.
Yep.
And I sat there and cried my ass off.
Yep.
It was such a good film
cry.
too.
It was not even
like ugly crying.
Ugly crying in the theater. Which is
the mom says, "You're fat." And I'm like, oh.
Yep, exactly. Oh, yeah. The scene, I don't want to spoil. I guess spoiler, the scene when she's going into the black hole and the mother's holding on to her and the father's holding on to the mother and the grandfather's holding on to them. It's the intergenerational trauma connection. And then she's like, okay, you want to let go? I will let you go. And then she lets her go. But then she comes back. I was like... Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait, Carrie, I'm so sorry, but I have to go now.
Oh my God. You just want me, you just leave me wanting more. But I'm going to have you back just so I can talk to you.
Of course. Always. If I'm ever down to Los Angeles, I'll come hit you up.
Oh, you have to come train. So, thank you, Laurel.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope this was a positive labor story for people who are thinking of trying so that they're not as afraid, that they should know that it is possible to have a good labor. And, postpartum's no fucking joke. I will tell people straight up, we need to talk about it more, because if we as women start making these issues real and talking about how toxic it is to say things like supermom, then maybe we will see a change in our rights and our children's rights in the future.
All right. Thank you so much, Laurel, for carving out the time for us. 10 months postpartum and super busy at your job as well. My listeners, I'm so excited to announce my project that is coming out. It's a 3-part video series called Aerial Rehab, geared towards anyone coming back to their practice after a long break, surgery, injury, or pregnancy. And it'll go straight to inboxes midsummer. So just click the link and in the show notes and sign up. You'll receive it for free. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you're feeling any of the things that me and Laurel were talking about, you are not alone. We all need to band together and rise up for our rights here in America. Reproductive rights are healthcare, is healthcare. I always mess it up. Somebody tell me which one it is. Yeah, lots of love going out on the airwaves this week because it is very heavy in a lot of our hearts. If you would please honor me with the 5-star rating and a review where you get your podcast, I will love you forever. Thanks so much for being here. Signing off. This is the Expecting Hairist.